Welcome to Essential Employability Skill Outcomes Workshop. What are they and why should you care? This video has been produced courtesy of the Curriculum Unit at the Innovation Center. Camtasia Studio has been used to capture the video. If you would like to have more information on Camtasia Studio, please contact the Innovation Center and we would be more than happy to help. Let's start by connecting to the issue of essential employability skills. Imagine that you are an employer about to conduct interviews for a new employee. What skills and attitudes and qualities would you be seeking over and above the obvious job-related expertise? Just take a few minutes and write down your answer. You may have come up with skills such as punctuality, great organizational skills, being a good communicator, ability to think on their feet and make split-second decisions, conflict resolution skills, being a team player, meeting timelines for projects, and learning from their mistakes. If you came up with these type of skills, then you're looking at essential employability skills. Great work. You have just listed many of the essential employability skills that all graduates from a certificate, diploma, or advanced diploma must be evaluated on prior to leaving the program in order to receive any of the credentials listed above. So what exactly are essential employability skills? They are the skills that, regardless of a student's program or discipline, they're critical to success in the workplace, in day-to-day living, and for lifelong learning. These are not the vocational skills that allow a graduate to perform the duties of that vocation, but rather the skills that are essential in order to be successful in the workplace. So, essential employability skills come from the Ministry of Training of Colleges and Universities of Ontario. They are part of the program standards. The program standards have three parts: vocational learning outcomes, essential employability skills, and the general education component. They are mandated by the MTCU, meaning that all 11 essential employability skills must be evaluated at least once during the course of a program in order for the graduate to receive a credential. Although there are 11 essential employability skills, there are 6 categories in which these skills fall: communication, numeracy, critical thinking and problem solving, information management, interpersonal skills, and personal skills. So now you may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with my role as a professor, and why do I have to know about these essential employability skills? I don't teach a communications course. I teach a biology class. How can I teach and evaluate essential employability skills in a biology class? Excellent question. Read on and find out. What you need to know as a professor at Durham College. Measuring essential employability skills is every teacher's responsibility. This presentation will help you analyze your own course to see where you can build in the development and measurement of essential employability skills. You need to recognize that often this just means a change in the teaching method, not additional content. Let's have a closer look at the 11 essential employability skills and see how they just might fit into your biology class. The next few slides show examples of the types of assessment tools you can use to evaluate essential employability skills. Remember, if you are not evaluating the essential employability skills listed in your outline, you need to be. Help is on the way. Aligning essential employability skills to evaluation. If you have a look at your course outline and open it to the page on course learning outcomes, you will notice that there are some essential employability outcomes listed. Not all 11, because this is not necessary. It is only necessary to list the essential employability outcomes that you actually evaluate during your course. You may be looking and wondering now, do I actually evaluate these essential employability outcomes? It's often quite easy to see how they fit into the course and that you may be reinforcing them in a lot of the activities you do and during your lectures. However, you may not be actually evaluating these. The essential employability outcomes that are listed on your course outline are there for a reason. You may have been the one to include these essential employability outcomes, or you may have inherited the outline from another faculty member. Just remember that it is not a good idea to remove the essential employability outcomes because they are part of the overall program map. Instead, let's think of some ways to ensure that you are evaluating these outcomes through your teaching and your evaluation methods. We will start with the first category of communication, and the first essential employability outcome. Communicate clearly, concisely, and correctly in the written, spoken, and visual form that fulfills the purpose and meets the needs of the audience. What we're asking the student to do here is be able to relay a message to the correct audience and so that the message that they are communicating is understandable. Some ways of evaluating this essential employability skill could be a written assignment. It could also be an oral presentation. It could be preparation or development of other tools intended to communicate information, such as a video or a letter. It could also be a poster board. When you're trying to come up with some ideas of how to evaluate this essential employability skill, you can start with maybe an oral presentation. Normally, when we are teaching to a specific vocation, the content of their presentation is not where the problem exists. Sometimes it's within the presentation skills and their ability to actually get their message across. They may be shy, embarrassed, their communication and presentation skills may be lacking. If this is the case, then they need to work on their essential employability skills. The student may present a topic and the material within that presentation may be excellent, but the actual presentation may leave the audience questioning what exactly the student was talking about. One way of measuring this is to have on a rubric areas such that measure the essential employability skill, such as graphics and elocution. So for this skill, we've asked the student to be able to communicate in a spoken and visual manner. If the student has not done this correctly, the graphics they used may have been unnecessary or they didn't even use any graphics. They may not have been audible in their elocution. They may have mumbled or mispronounced words or talked so inaudibly that you really didn't know whether the content was accurate or not. This type of rubric, or including sections in your own rubric such as these, allows you to measure and evaluate the essential employability skill of communication. Number 1. The next communication in the communication category is respond to written, spoken, or visual messages in a manner that ensures effective communications. Some examples of some evaluation techniques that can be used are summaries, both oral and written, scenarios and activities using instructions provided orally, meeting simulations, providing narrative or reflective responses to circumstances and situations. Examples may include that you have your student write a business letter in response to an inquiry from a customer. Another assignment may be in a communication class, a mock interview. This would let us know whether the student can respond to the message given in a way that ensures effective communication. Numeracy is the second category of essential employability skills. Number 3, execute mathematical operations accurately. There are many ways in which students can be tested on their simple math skills. Some courses or programs lend more to numeracy than others. If you are teaching in a course that has absolutely no numeracy involved, then this essential employability outcome should not be listed on your course outline. However, if you are teaching in a course where even a minimal amount of numeracy is involved, by all means include it as long as you are evaluating numeracy, which is the execution of mathematical operations accurately. This handout provides examples of evaluations that can be used for all 11 essential employability skills. You will find this handout in the module Essential Employability Skill Outcomes. We already discussed the first essential employability skills, communication, and talked about various types of evaluation and how important it is that your rubric reflects the type of evaluation that you are using for that. For example, is numeracy. Some courses lend better to mathematical operations than others. However, most of our courses do have some component of math within them. The remaining categories of essential employability skills include critical thinking and problem solving, information management, interpersonal skills, and personal skills. This handout gives you some examples of types of evaluations you may wish to include in your course to ensure that you are evaluating essential employability skills. You may already have many different types of assignments, tests, evaluations that are evaluating your essential employability skills. It's just a good idea to have a look and make sure that any skills that are listed on your course outline are being evaluated. A final note on essential employability skill outcomes. ESOs are part of the program standards along with vocational learning outcomes and general education. They are mandated by the Ministry of Training, colleges and universities and are the responsibility of all faculty. All 11 essential employability skills must be evaluated at least once during the course of the entire program, regardless of the credential, certificate, diploma, or advanced diploma. If you would need some help regarding essential employability skill outcomes and finding evaluation and teaching techniques to help reinforce them, please contact the Innovation Center. You can contact the Teaching and Learning Specialist or the Curriculum Specialist, and we would be more than happy to help. Included in this module are some resources. The Essential Employability Skill Outcome handout with examples of evaluations, as well as the final policy on essential employability skills published by the Ministry of Training, Colleges and University. Thank you.